bro. Oh, what's up, Rocky? Thank you. How you doing? Papa. I was on the phone with him. Oh. I'm gonna close it? Yes. Hola. How you doing, Jesus? totally normal. What's good? What up, Jerry? What up, Sam? Thank you, bro. What up, King Jerry? I don't know. It looks like some character cover. I don't know who it is. Just doodling. Can I say one thing? What's up, bro? Yeah, just comment. You don't need to ask me. Yeah, that's the wrong way to think about it, bro. Looks so bad, looks so good. By whose standard? By whose standard? Who are you trying to please? You create not because it looks good and looks bad. You just create to see what comes out. And if you want to concentrate that and make something intentional, like a, I don't know, character design, your comic, whatever, you can do that too. And the judgment there isn't good or bad. It's more about, well, is this what I'm intending to show? Right? It's never good or bad. Never ugly, beautiful. That's not what it's about. It's more about just being receptive to the source of all this design, which is imagining and using your imagination, your logic back and forth. Not trying to please anybody. It's supposed to be something that is free from pleasing and judgment and all that. So post your art, bro, and don't be ashamed. What do you mean by collab? Like on a manga or something? Uh, honestly, man, I have a lot of on my plate. I don't really just collab, and what the amount of work I have and what I want to share. I don't have any room for doing side projects. All this stuff. This, for example, is not even the main work I'm supposed to do, right? Like this is just free sketching, putting my work out there, getting myself warmed up, and potentially creating new ideas for the story. Like this character right now, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe this character could be like some goblin human hybrid uh, who lives in the South State in Demon Nation in the story world, and we could follow his adventures. He could be a demophile. Oh, maybe this character, maybe this is his story. You know, so this is a way for me to kind of find new ideas and designs, and potentially create more to the main story world that I'm creating. That's dope, bro. That's dope that you're producing projects and putting it out there. Just get away from the fear of messing up or thinking you're not good enough or whatever. That stuff is poison. It could be useful for you to try to get yourself better, but at some point that's going to collapse and you're going to realize like you're not having fun with art anymore because you're obsessed with pleasing a standard of good that you've decided is what good is, you know. um, this life is too short for perfectionists, so you have to be constantly spinning that wheel, creating, and learning to let go of that judgment. Judgment is the opposite energy of creativity. You can't have fire and water in the same place. There's a time for judgment, there's a time for creativity. Um, and really just harness that, bro. That's your actual, you know, infinite fuel that you have, you know. Share it, and don't worry about what people say, or, you know, just create, bro. There's one head, two head, three head. I could zoom in for you so you can see it. It looks like it's some kind of cover. I don't know. You know, like it has multiple characters around it. Why can't I zoom in? I don't care how many views I have. I do this every day. It's not about how many views, it's about how many times I show up. Views go up, down, and it's just a fake popularity contest because you see the quality of my work, and that's what matters. Um, if you look at the people that are succeeding and you see a lot of their work, it's trash, and the reason they get views is because they have connections and money for advertisement. Um, so if you're living in a world where it's constantly surrounded by fake winners and the real people are down and having no views or whatever, I'm just gonna keep creating. I'm not gonna worry about that fake world. Yeah, you gotta learn to not care about your art and about the results and about the people that they are all judging you in like 2 seconds or looking at your art for not even 2 seconds, maybe a millisecond, right? Unless they're very fascinated by something, right? It's really not important. You got to just learn to be receptive to the medium and fueling your imagination constantly with potential ideas and creations. It's like if you want to really become free and create with like un unhold without holding back anything, you know, really truly creating something that's yours, original, it's coming from you. You really need to be in tune with yourself and your process and how receptive you are to what that original art is that's inside of you, and learning how to channel and release that. This goes for everything pretty much, but when it comes to this, it's it's so direct, and the line within this line exists the entire imagination. It exists everything possible, and so that's what you're doing here. You have to get away from the superficial reality that's surrounding you. Most of it is lies and giggles and bullshit. The reality is, real power is in your hands, in your ability to channel that imagination into the line and into the page. So this is the primary concern you have. Fuck views and fuck anybody who judges you, right? At least you're doing something, right? Bro, look at the major publishers and like what they're coming out with, bro. And like the ones in America, just look at what the state of comics is and design is. A lot of it has become overly polished, overly uh, unnecessarily complex, or just lacking in originality, and just having this sort of commercial look. And the people who decide who get to have the opportunities are looking for that commercial look. They're looking for empty entertainment and a lack of actual original design. It's enough for them to, try to sell something that looks like legit than is actually legit. Um, and I think that it's very important you don't lose touch with that, because if that's what the media is teaching us, the ones that are succeeding, they're teaching us they want us to be more and more commercialized, more and more plastic with our art. Um, I think that the only ethical thing to do is to rebel. And so you create from a place where you're not accepting that bullshit, you know, that sort of Genshin Impact look, and that everything is going to look like that, or Sword Art Online, that look, that generic ass manga anime look everywhere, or overly polished. You want as much as possible to contribute to the pool, because if we're gonna make some real changes in the industry in any way, it's got to start from the culture where the artists are being created from, the mentality, the psychology. That's why I share my thoughts, because it's really important that the thinking changes. And just like the way, for example, when we were talking earlier about, you know, this mentality of, oh, this is good, nothing I have is good, or everything I have is good, or whatever, like that mindset in general, it's produced from this plastic uh, state of art that we're in, where everything is super digitized, plastic looking, and there's no real lines being drawn on the page. Um, and it's just like you got to be this amazing and this good. It's got to look so complete. No, bro, no. What we need is more openness, more experimentation, and more originality. So it starts off with wanting that, and recognizing that you have that in you, and deprogramming yourself from the bullshit lie that only this and this and this is quality. If I recognize it, this is good quality. This isn't. You gotta get away from that. It's the wrong energy. What up, Short? Thank you, Sam. That's good, bro. Thank you, local. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I mean it. it's got that anime vibe, but it's really something more universal, right? Anime, Japanese, weeb, all that shit. Reality is comics in the West were more on the realistic side, while they explored more shapes, more shape language, and it was only later on that we started to open up in the West about how we do comics, and we started to be more abstract and more experimental. Um, and so, like, what they tapped into simply was a shaped language that's opened the doors for so much more designs that we can create that aren't too realistic, that aren't too abstract, somewhere in between. Um, so, like the eyes and all that stuff that you would typically see in that style. Um, you could express it in so many ways where it just doesn't read the same as that, but it has that signature. Hopefully that makes sense, bro. Bro, watch Draw Like a Sir. What's happening? Um, I don't recognize mistakes, my guy. Uh, how would you even be able to tell a mistake when you don't know what I'm drawing? See what I'm saying? A lot of the mentality is about learning to adapt and work with what's there. But watch Draw Like a Sir. I don't know. Is that like a YouTube channel? There's really, if anybody's telling you there's mistakes, are they really creating art, or are they doing some kind of formula? Like, oh, this is how you do a McDonald's fucking burger. Here's the formula. Or is it like two plus two? This is what this equals this every time. No, that mentality is just a way to like indoctrinate people to create more bullshit fake art. Real art is on the spot. You don't know. Sometimes they fucking changes. It becomes so much more than what you intend. You know, you can draw Mickey Mouse with those three circles. You got Mickey Mouse, bam. Or you can do Mickey Mouse in your own abstract way that nobody could predict. I think that the latter is much more interesting. Creating, teaching, teaches, Picho freestyle. I guess yeah. Maybe. It's more like daring people to try it out for themselves. After you show them how far you can take things, in that freestyle. You can't really teach it. You have to just uh, encourage. How can I teach you what to like? How can I teach you what shapes you find interesting? What designs you find interesting? These are things that are all personal and really important for you to kind of investigate for your own path, your own style. And what you ultimately end up with is something that is very interesting. At the very least, at least you not to not to you're not trying to make people copy your style. You want them to ultimately find their own style. Love manga. I haven't really read too much of that. I don't mind. Like I think Eureka 7 on Adult Swim when I was a kid growing up. That would come on and I would watch that, and it's kind of a love manga or anime, but I don't know, bro. I tried watching that shit again recently. I was like, how the hell did I watch this as a kid? Only thing that really got me into it, I would say, is the design and the vibes uh, um, that world kind of gives off. It's pretty cool, and some of the soundtrack was sick. Uh, but it was a little weird with the dialogue. And then there was a weird manga I read. I don't recommend you read it. It's called Flowers of Evil, and that's like a twisted love manga with like a toxic uh, person that they're into. I do not recommend reading it, but you will get hooked. It's kind of crazy, crazy shit. What else? What else? Oh, this is dry. Hey, good to see you, man. Love your work. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate you, Phil Skinner. Um, that pen is dry. I need to get some new supplies, bro. A lot of my stuff is dry now. Yeah, Eureka 7. I love the art style, but the story, the dialogue, kind of cringy as fuck. Um, this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, I think that America, we sort of are killing it when it comes to actual like storytelling and all that. And I think that Japan, they have amazing gems, and they're killing it in the comics. They're keeping comics alive essentially. Um, but sometimes, bro, sometimes like they be missing with the dialogue. They be missing with like the the actual storytelling, and the design is beautiful, right? But it's like, oh, you guys rushed this thing. Maybe you should have wrote it a little more or something. But I feel like when we create stories in the West, because we have so many people involved, so many people reviewing, and it's a much longer process, we can actually cultivate like stories that are really iconic, really memorable, like that are become worldwide staples. Like something like Toy Story, for example, right? Something like I don't know. You pick your uh, favorite Disney movie from like I don't know Aladdin something. It has a huge impact. It's not. It's. I mean, obviously One Piece, fucking worldwide, amazing. Uh, Dragon Ball Z. They have hitters, but I think that like just storytelling sometimes a lot of stuff they have a lot of stuff, but not everything story wise is there and dialogue wise is there. Well, all stuff like Game of Thrones or a series that is just like you're fucking hooked on it. Um, it's because they're killing it in all so many boxes. Of course, there's issues with Game of Thrones towards the end, but for the most part, those first beginning seasons were fucking impeccable. Did you ever see the Animatrix? It mostly sucked, but the episode beyond was awesome. That sounds really familiar. Animatrix. Is this the anime version of the Matrix? I don't think I've watched it. Animatics. I'm not sure. I'll check it out though. I gotta put it on my list. Someone told me to watch something called ReZero. It looks really too anime esque looking for my taste. But I'm gonna check it out because I gave him my word. But I'll check out Animatics Beyond. What's my favorite anime? Damn, bro. I honestly don't have a good answer to this. Uh, I mean, I'm gonna choose for nostalgia, like growing up with it. One Piece, Hunter x Hunter. But shit, bro, that's difficult. I haven't even been watching anything, bro, for a minute. It would be just like clips of an action scene or something. Most of the time now, I'm just like, what am I consuming? What show am I watching? Nothing right now. No cartoon or nothing. I was watching this old anime called S Cry Ed. They used to come up on um, Adult Swim late at night. And what I found though was some of the characters in that shit were just like, why do you exist, bro? Like, why are you even in this shit? Like, there's a motherfucking dude with some watermelon power, and he's just like a fat guy because of course he's gonna be a fat guy. Like, what the hell? Retarded. There's another guy who's like a script writer, and he has like a pink afro, and it's like the most random character generated thing. But being said, S Cry Ed does have some sick ass fights. It has some cool ass character designs. Some very few, and this like this the shape language is dope. It's just that they be generating some random ass looking characters. That's all obvious is. Sometimes it's like they probably created you on the spot and had to finish, and they made this fucking episode filler, or whatever. So, but I wouldn't say that's my favorite. I do like the style a little bit. Uh, Neon Genesis, that one's all right. You know, in terms of its style, it's really nice, but I feel like it's a little over. I mean, I'm not that into mecha stuff, so maybe that's why. But I would say that would probably be my favorite mecha, maybe second to like Gurren Lagann. I don't know if you've ever seen Gurren Lagann. That was a good one. Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Death Note. Am I your biggest supporter? I don't know. You're helping me out. I have some OGs helping me out on different platforms. Philistinic clothes, I suppose. What do you mean tasteful? First anime I got into was Noir, Girls with Guns from 2004, but it was pretty distasteful, you're saying? Yeah, like I bet you there's a lot of fan service. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes, bro. That's another thing with the genre, unfortunately. Um, I think that for me, like growing up as a kid, watching Four Kids every Saturday morning, I would see these cartoons come on, and for me, I'm not thinking it's anime. I'm not thinking it's American, Japanese, or whatever. I'm just looking at these cartoons: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Jackie Chan Adventures, Shaolin Showdown, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh. They all were cartoons. I wasn't thinking in categories. And I think what has happened is like we become so fake, so tribal that we have to categorize everything and make things like stigmatized or whatever. So, and then it doesn't help that they go along with it and then they actually, create weird shit like excessive unnecessary fan service or like just weird stuff in anime. You'll find plenty of weird stuff. Um, that has to do with their cultural things and what they're doing. You know, everybody has different cultures. Doesn't matter. But for me as a kid growing up, they were all just cartoons and a gateway to the imagination and storytelling. And I think that's what we need to return to. I think like there's there's just this like culture that we're in now where things become stigmatized because of a couple of bad apples, and we kind of limit the potential of something. Like you were saying, I'm not really into anime, but this looks cool, and it's probably because this is a totally different thing than what you would typically see in what we think of as anime and this. So it's completely outside of the box that has been created. And so this is my whole thing right here is trying to help y'all for your own art, for your own way, for your own art style to develop it. You need to start to learn about what it is you're directly interested in and get rid of all this indoctrination, all this, oh, this is this particular thing and this is that style, this is anime, this is American, and this is what the hell do you like? Don't worry about the labels, just create it. That's what we're into. And that's the gateway to your own imagination, your own art style, to everything, and to your own stories that you could generate, share with people, and potentially maybe wake people up to more of the truth that's hidden in plain sight everywhere we go. So that's the most important thing, becoming more receptive to your way, your style, your original art. Yeah, Devil May Cry is actually a great example of this mix between anime and realistic that you get like in Death Note, where it's so different that should you call it an anime? Should you call it? Oh, it's from Japan, so it's an anime. Ah, okay, all right. Uh, no, but we're free of all that. We just enjoy the art, creation, and hopefully create more and more. What happened? Who's that? Hello. Oh, he got Bendix. Appendix surgery 3 days ago. Oh wow. You know that when they explode? Yeah. So now is okay? Sitting in the car, sleeping in the car, and I said, please come over. You can sleep on Usher's bed even. Or I'm live. Oh. Violation warning. Because it's flagged as hate or something. I don't know. Maybe I said something that people hated. Well, I guess that's my sign. Stay quiet. There was a violation on TikTok, a warning or something. Apparently, I said something that triggered the system. I don't know what I said. Yeah, I'm live. Anyway, I'm live Insta, TikTok, YouTube, I'm live everywhere except Twitch. Fortunately, I couldn't figure out how to do that one as well. But I used to go live on Twitch. I just stopped because I had to choose between YouTube and Twitch, and I think YouTube's probably better. You don't have to be dedicated to just them, because I think Twitch, like once you make it in partner, you can only stream on Twitch. All right, we're gonna just pick one color. I was thinking earlier that this guy's like a goblin hybrid or something. You gonna choose the colors? All right. What do you want this guy's skin color to be? Thanks, dude. Light orange. Okay. First, I'm not sure if it's gonna look like light orange in the camera, but here it says light orange. Sometimes the color doesn't pick up the correct color, and the camera doesn't pick up the correct color. Yeah, soon. Soon. So what do people annoy with as an artist? Like, okay, what do people annoy you with as a artist? Like they judge, we can't draw. Um, One thing that annoys me is when I see people who do fan art, like crazy succeeding, and all they do is just fan art, and they sell it, and everything they do is just fan art done at a technical level. You know, um, it's cool to see a little bit of it, but it's like you're dedicated to drawing other people's creation. Kind of lame as fuck. I don't think it's something that annoys me. It is annoying when you see them succeeding in oversaturating TikTok and other platforms, um, opposed to actual creators doing their own original stuff, trying to share something brand new. But this is how it is, you know. It's easier to look up a character you know than one you never heard of, right? Obviously. So I can't really blame them completely, but they're sort of like leeches. Um, Another thing would be when people they went to art school, can't draw for shit, and they have all the jargon that they teach you in art school, the way to critique somebody, and all the terminology. Because they have all this terminology, and they've learned how to critique during class, they actually think like what they're saying is valid, or like they're somehow equal to you as a creator, uh, when they don't have anything to show other than just talk. It's like, why are you critiquing me when you can't draw for shit and all you have is this fancy language? Like, don't tell me how to fix it. When somebody tries to tell you how to fix it and they can't draw for shit, it's like, okay, uh, why do we have to listen to this guy say this? Um, Another thing that surprising is you have sometimes art teachers. They don't they don't have any skill, but because they've achieved the position of teacher as an art teacher in life, and they went through the educational system. Um, but you look at their art, you see like this is some basic shit. Like, what are you? Why do you? How did you get the job? And then you hear them talk and you realize, oh, it's because they're really persuasive and they know how to talk and they're very friendly and they can network. And oh, so a lot of times that is what we're dealing with. I think you'll be surprised. Sometimes you have students that are better, way better than the art teacher, and you know they have no idea. And this art teacher is trying to help them, give them feedback, and then telling them and putting them down in some way, critiquing them. But in a way that's like, are you just trying to completely manipulate this person into shaping them how you want? It's it's weird, but it exists, and it's important to stop seeking validation from others because you'll find a lot of times they don't even know how to do what you do, but they just want to say something to feel less worried or concerned about their fragile egos when they witness your creative prowess. So it's, I guess that would be it. I mean, I can't think of anything else. A lot of times when people see you doing your own thing, it's completely original. They try to water it down. They try to put you down because their daddy didn't tell them it's okay to like that thing. Their daddy being the establishment, whatever we consider an authority uh, in terms of opinion. Like, I don't know, if Shonen Jump releases a new manga, oh, that must mean there's some real potential in that. A lot of times it's bullshit. Like, it's like, why did you guys create this and put this out there, right? So you'll have, though, no matter what, you'll have a fan base growing because Shonen Jump put it out. Therefore, it got its stamp of approval. This goes for all authority publishers positions, or you know the mainstream top 10 music hits or whatever. It's going to have a lot more because it's been seen more, and the authorities they said this is worthy of being top 10 even though it's garbage. So you'll have a lot of that happening, where these sort of the blind leading the blind type situation. And that's once again why it's so important to create and share your work that you find interesting that you've created from yourself. All right. Let me see these comments real quick. I went to school for a year and it sucked. Learned everything I know on my own. I appreciated the lab though. I agree. Same thing, bro. I guess the figure drawing got me into the right mindset. Exactly. Figure drawing. You don't need to go and pay an expensive tuition to go take figure drawing classes. They're at your local art shop. They probably have something where they have a figure drawing event. You can find it. So, but you can also go to community college. They have figure drawing classes there. Figure drawing is the major thing you need to learn in art school. Like, if you want to do character designs and art stuff, manga, comics, whatever, and you have a story with you know all this, you need to know drawing. Doesn't mean you need to know anatomy and all the terminology and exactly how to draw everything accurately. It's more like you need to have the visual direct experience of looking at a model and learning and getting a sense of how the body wraps and the bones sit and how they poke out in certain parts to create indication. You know what I'm saying? Like the funny bone, right? That's little hinge point, little point that sticks out. These little things you want to learn and how to move it and how to be loose and how to create on the spot. That's what figure drawing will help you so much. And most of the stuff you learn, it's just going to be like design theory and how to use like programs, which is cool too, right? Like Photoshop and stuff like that, or if you're doing animation, whatever animation program. But you're gonna have these arrogant art teachers, bro. You're gonna run into them. Their whole thing is they want to crush you so they can rebuild you. They believe you're coming to them because you already have a lot of bad ideas you've learned, a lot of bad ways and habits of art, and they want to go and they want to break that so they can rebuild you so you can be more proper. That whole thing is wrong. Like the whole mentality of that is wrong. It doesn't cherish what's true, what's coming out originally. It's like looking at a flower and saying, no, no, you're this flower, you need to grow this particular way. I don't care what the hell you're doing with all that, even though it looks beautiful or whatever. Um, I'm going to reshape this flower, right? That's the mentality that's in Muslim art school. And what it's really there for is the same thing that the educational system is there for. It's for you to become ripe for the picking for these studios so you could be a background artist for them. There's know your place, right? It's not for you to become a creator. It's for you to become a maker, a manufacturer, another person in the assembly line, right? That's really what it is. So if you're going to art school and you're trying to do art as a career thing and you're okay with that, that's okay. Do your thing, go for it. But if you want to create your own original stuff, bro, go to art school, take what you need, and don't become, unfortunately, a victim of a lot of these kinds of students and teachers that are there that they got a toxic competitiveness or they're just controlling and they're intimidating, right? Always create unapologetically. That's crazy. They stop a whole lesson just to stop you from drawing. That's weird. Unless you're like being allowed or something. All right, right now we're just kind of filling in the white. I'm just gonna pick two more colors and finish this off. Oh, we're almost done. Thank you, Kalia. I totally forgot TikTok. Thank you, Sam, of course. Sam is the OG. I'd say Sam is my biggest supporter, to be honest with you. But he's on TikTok. He is always like showing up, bro, to my lives and just liking them, liking the crap out of them until it hits like a 1,000. And like I'll be live for like an hour, 2 hours sometimes, and it'll be just like no likes, zero. Even though I'm like making something crazy, it's just TikTok doesn't show it to the right people, and then Sam will suddenly appear, and he'll be saving the day. And I need to get some color refills, brush refills, whiteout refills. I need a lot of supplies. Give me money. All right, guys, we did it. We had fun. We created. That was fun. We didn't know what the hell we were gonna do. We're gonna do this. Concept sketch. I have no idea, but it could potentially be characters in the story world. Demon Nation for sure. Let's see, this character looks cool. Something about him is interesting to me. Maybe he's a yeah, maybe he's some kind of like punk goblin kid in the human territory. He has to blend in to pretend to be human, right? And I don't know. Maybe he gets caught up in some weird fucking alien goblin fucking bullshit. I don't know. I got no clue. Show must go on. The show must go on. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for joining. I need to stop doing these free sketches. I have to. I have to do pages. I'm just like pushing it back. Pushing it back. I was supposed to finish this one too, but it's not a priority. I gotta get the pages. I might not stream it. I might want to just like spend some time working on it. Maybe when I get to somewhere where the page I feel is basically ready to be inked or just needs to be tightened up, I might go streaming. We'll see, because we've already done two streams. This one went a little overboard. Didn't have to go that long in this video. But yeah, we'll see on the next one. We might be doing pages live. I might come in a little late tonight and do another live. We'll see. But I appreciate everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you.